Today, everyone, we're going to be taking a time warp back to the early years of MJ and Adam Show, aka Speak Up Radio. Hey, everyone, welcome back to another
episode of Speak
Up Radio! Kind of episode. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And we welcome you to another awesome episode where we invite you to become our friends in this natural English conversation where you can learn some new phrases to improve your listening and get the feeling of English, because learning that kind of thing from a textbook or a teacher is a little difficult. So hopefully we can help you out there.
Yeah.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about the early years of MJ and Adam. If you've been a fan of ours for a long time, you might know that many years ago, I don't even know, what was it, like 2013? 13? Me and Adam got together and we started a podcast called Speak Up Radio from the previous work, our company that we were working for. And that's when we decided, there's a lot of people that we help with this product that the company sold at a beginner level. But there's also a lot of people when we had our events at the company who would speak very well and their listening was good. And we wanted to help them out in a different way. And we decided to do a podcast. And I actually tested out a few different people in the company. One of them was a Japanese coworker who she could speak English fluently, and we just did it mostly in English. And then another one that we had two different Americans with me in the recording room talking about different things. And then another one was me and another coworker who've been in Japan for almost the same amount of time. So we also knew about a lot of the different cultural aspects of Japan. But, we tried and tested, made a lot of demos, and nothing really stuck, And we put the project on pause for a little bit, and then Adam came into the company and we were doing work together. And I forgot how it came back. It reflourished itself. I think it was like PR was moving again.
Kind of trying to make, of course, because of the product's current or situation, they wanted to make something to help improve the image of the product they were selling.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
By making content, putting it on the internet, that was one of the ways they could do it. So we went through the whole brainstorming about what we could do, and then MJ or I said, how about the podcast?
Right.
They needed somebody to kind of run it and manage it, and it was part of the PR team. So I joined, and we made our first episode. Which nobody heard.
Which no one heard. Episode 0. It became episode 0 because we couldn't put it out. It was actually, everyone, when Tokyo, the 2020 Olympics were announced, and it was decided that Tokyo will be the city. We recorded it and then went to our PR team and we're like, okay, we're going to talk about this. Is that cool? The Olympics. And then they called the Olympic committee, I think actually contacted them. We're like, hey, we want to put out some information, the podcast that we do. And the topic is the Olympics. Can we do that? Is that just make sure? Is that cool?
Is it
and
okay?
The Olympic committee said, no, you can't. So everyone, that is a lost episode. I'm curious if one of us even still has it. We should put it out.
It's gone. Unless you have the CDs.
There was a lot of road bumps that I think me and Adam went through, but in the end, we had good chemistry and it worked out. A lot of people enjoyed us talking, not only people who are listening to our podcast, not knowing who we are, but also within the company, our friends would listen to it and be like, yeah, it's really good. You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah.
But we had so many speed bumps here and there. And the biggest one is probably the things that we could talk about because it was attached to the company. So we kind of had to be careful what we could talk about, what we couldn't talk about. Hence, we couldn't even talk about the Olympics at one point. So we always, it was difficult at sometimes, but still really fun. But the thing that me and Adam always laugh about is at the beginning, if you go back to our early episodes, everything's on YouTube still right now, everyone.
Right.
Early, first season Speak Up Radio, it's very slow paced. You can hear that we're still getting used to, being MCs.
Right.
It's boring.
I guess so. It's
pretty bad
compared to what we are now. It's boring. Yeah. It sounds like we just woke up.
Yeah.
Or we're about to go to sleep.
I mean, you can even hear us figuring out the intro. And this is another episode of Speak Up Radio, you know?
Yeah.
At the beginning, the energy for saying Speak Up Radio was like at like a level like 2 or something, you know? And then when it reached like, I don't know, towards the end, when we're in the studio, it's cranked. Like we're shouting. People complaining that we're peaking. We're being too loud. Screaming on some of our episodes. So it definitely changes. So it's fun to look back. And it was really awesome to see like how we could kind of, you know, make it ours. You know, it was a part of the company, but if everyone doesn't know, me and Adam, that was like our baby. That was what we were in charge of, not only recording, but we were also editing the audio. And then it turned into us like promoting it on different types of social media sites, SNS, different socials. So we had learned so many different things on how to do it, and grew from there. So it was a really cool experience. And then, you know, it hit us. I forgot when, but we started structuring the talks a lot better. At the very beginning, it was very
I think
open.
It was the very beginning. Like,
it's like episode 12. I think
after 12 or 13, one of our friends as well was listening, and he would always let us know, like, okay, you guys are doing great, but it would be better if this or that, you tried this or that. So I think some of the advice that we got was that, you know, having it structured in 3 different points, where we could bring everything together at the end, but make it so that it's 3 points to talk about, and it's easier for the listener of one theme. Right. And that would be easier for the listener to understand.
Exactly. Especially with how long it was.
Right. Oh, yes.
Our episodes were 30 minutes long. The original podcast.
But what nobody knows is we recorded for an hour.
Oh.
So our recording, one episode was an hour-long recording that we would shrink down to 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That was the goal. We had it still very loose.
Yeah.
That's why we recorded everyone for 1 hour. And then we're like, all right, let's cut to the good chunky information, good bits of our talk. And then like, so we got good feedback from different types of people within our company. So we were able to improve our podcast, how we spoke and stuff. And then we started seeing our podcast, Speak Up Radio, jump up in the ranks of podcasts in Japan. And it was super awesome to see the support from other people around Japan, all over Japan, listening to our episodes. So interested to hear how, you know, we were in people's ears for like years, helping, you know, improve their listening skills. And we even had, you know, awesome comments, emails from people coming to us saying like, your show helped me out so much. Like I'm getting better scores on listening for TOEIC tests or something, ACAN tests. Some people even like living abroad, being able to have courage to be like a translator at this like special Pokemon event. And he said it was because of our show. I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Like we were just hanging out. We're just talking. We're just two dudes talking.
We're just, you know, talking about things that we know, things that we enjoy, things that we like about living in Japan, talking about our hometowns, talking about, you know, other things that aren't even related to English learning a lot of the times. But it still helps people learn English in a way that we didn't expect.
Yeah. Because, you know, it touches upon the sense of if you had a friend that was a native English speaker, like you wouldn't just be asking them the whole time, how do I speak English better? You would learn by speaking, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing we wanted to focus on. And I feel we did a good job. You know, there's some funny things that happened. Of course, like moving to different areas, different locations for recording sometimes. Turning the audio podcast into a YouTube format where there was videos. We were recording a lot. We went through a whole setup, changing like different cameras. You know, we had 3 cameras set up at the beginning. It was so much work. Adam learned about like how to figure out how we could edit with 3 cameras. It was really cool, but it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
So, you know, it was testing out different things, and we're going back to like 1 camera, and it seemed like that was easy and helped us produce these episodes more and more. So that was really cool. But one hilarious thing I want to touch upon, everyone, is that we, as we were growing within the podcast realm and going up in the ranks, there would be like bilingual news is always up there with us. And at that time, I forgot who else was around. I think it was like just TED Talk. There was no other like kind of independent, I feel.
Yes. Yeah.
Podcasters. I mean, we were connected to a company, so we weren't so independent.
Right.
But so we were up there. But then we saw another podcast that was out there that was almost like exact replicas of us.
English with Nick and Ray,
maybe something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
And I think they were located down in Kyushu at an English learning school, English language school. And it was just hilarious to see, like, because I don't even know how else to put it. They look like our doppelgangers, like copycats.
Yeah.
Bizarro world. But that was an inside joke that always went around me and Adam, even to this day. So yeah, everyone, then we focused on YouTube and we decided to like take a different route, to go back to the progress of Speak Up Radio. And we decided to take the chunks of these three major topics. And since we talked, 30 minutes for each episode of the podcast, what we did was we sectioned it off into 3 videos for YouTube. And each of the themes that we talked about in the podcast would be one video of YouTube. So this was really cool because, we had a full studio, we had professional gear. We were so excited. I was totally feeling like, this is some cool stuff we're doing.
Just like learning the whole process of making it, the SNS stuff we were doing, the editing, not only the videos, but images for the thumbnails, and learning about how to create good thumbnails, and just getting better at Photoshop and getting better at editing in general, because it's skills that I always wanted to learn but never had the opportunity. And it was like a huge chance for me as well, like personally, to grow and learn. And also like just enjoy seeing and hearing the feedback as well was really helpful, and learning about the listeners and how we can make better videos and how we can choose better topics and how we can have fun at the same time, as well as tell or help everyone watching with their English. It was like just all of it was great. It was a great experience. Yeah.
It was so fun. There's so many good things about it. I mean, we had so many guests on our show. We had like a routine of guests where we had them regularly. When we focused more on YouTube, we actually like cut down a little bit on it. So you were able to hear not only our side of the story of what our opinions are, but also people from other places. So they were all people that worked within the company that we worked at. Friends of ours. So go back, listen to those old episodes again on the YouTube channel. They're pretty good. I still enjoy them, and it's like almost like time machine. We can go back in time by listening to those episodes to see what things were like. And it's just like an awesome thing that we've continued. And again, that's why we continue to do this now as MJ and Adam Show, because it's like, why not? We've built this thing for like such a long time, and we figured out a way that we can continue to do it. So that's what we're doing, everyone. But then as most of you might know, unless you're fresh and this is the first time you see MJ and Adam, there was a time where we had to leave our company. And Speak Up Radio had to close its studio, close its doors, shut off its cameras permanently. And that's when we decided to continue on our own as an independent, kind of just me and Adam creating, because at the while we even were in the company, we were doing everything by ourselves. So that's where we are, and that's how we're here today, continuing to make episodes and talks to help everyone improve their English, but also like become friends with us and take their English to another level of feeling it again. So man, so just I want to say thank you everyone who's been riding this adventure, this wave with us, especially everyone who's been following and listening to our show for years since Speak Up Radio.
The day ones.
The day ones. Oh my gosh. So thank you all. And we've been changing this and improving it to help everyone out a little more. And one awesome thing is, we got a website. You can become a Next Step community member. And the coolest thing is like, have talks with me and Adam every month we get together, we hang out. There's live streams that I do every day to help connect even more and try to help make a community. I want to make it stronger, bigger, so people can take advantage of it. And you know what I'm thinking of, dude? Be on the lookout, everybody, because what I want to do is I want to take all of the old episodes, the audio podcasts, and put them on our website so people can listen to them as podcasts again. Because if you didn't know, everyone, all of our old Speak Up Radio talks are not available for podcasts anymore. So be on the lookout. I'll be posting about it once everything is moved over. I'm going to be putting it within the community. So if you become a part of the Next Step member community, hey, you're going to be able to get access to all that old stuff. Content. All right. So I'm excited for that. Be excited for that.
I wonder if episode 0 is somewhere lurking.
Episode 0 might be lurking in that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know where it is.
But that's, oh my gosh. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for, taking the trip back to memory lane with us in this one. Be on the lookout. Their next few episodes, we have some big important news coming up, some cool videos going out. So be on the lookout this week for these next few episodes. Again, they're going to be good ones. Thank you again for joining. Like the video if you haven't yet. Leave a comment down below. When did you start listening to Speak Up Radio or MJ and Adam Show? And subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, but that's it. We'll see you
on the next step.